What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Blazed and Confused, the podcast where curiosity is high, confidence is questionable, and logic usually shows up late. I'm Max.
And I'm Noah.
So, this week I heard you had my favorite thing picked out. Kind of excited.
What? You mean your brothers?
The aliens? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Dude,
Your
when
brothers
you.
from another mother ship.
My brother's from another celestial mother. Uh, dude, when you mentioned aliens, I was like, there's no way. I cannot let this go. Um, it's just one of those, it's like, there's enough for us to talk about without proving anything that we're about to talk about. Because it is just, it's a, it's such a crazy thing that nobody wants to believe it, but I do.
Well, and it's not so much that they don't want to believe it because, the UFO files have come out, and what was it? June 12th was the third batch that they
Yep.
released. And 17 million views, I
Yeah.
think. If I read
Yeah.
or heard correctly, it's either million or billion. I want to say it was 17 million views on the UFO files so far. So
Which is
people
crazy.
are into it, like there's a lot of believers out there.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, people like me like to not think about this too much because, man, like, if you if you buy into this a little bit, you're really going to be thinking about like everything. So I like to remind myself this is just an idea. None of this has even been proven in those UFO files. There are things that we'll talk about that were in those and proven, but the beginnings of this, we have no hard proof.
What do you mean the beginnings?
Do you know when the first like alien sighting is documented?
I do not.
Dude, it's so crazy. Like when I saw this date, I said there's absolutely no way it happened in this time. Between 3000 and 1000 BC, there are many ancient civilizations that described beings descending from the sky. What?
So BC is before Christ, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, way, way early in time. Like, that's before. I mean, that's before a lot of historical things.
Well, now I've got a lot more questions that I don't think you can answer, but um,
Hit me.
would that mean that Jesus could be an alien?
See, that's what people think, but this is way even before that. So, a lot of people don't believe that necessarily. But, there was a lot of ancient civilizations that had the idea of, like sky gods, right? So, like Egyptians described their gods coming from the heavens. Ancient Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki. Um, and then Hindu texts talk about a flying craft called Vimanas. So these are like ancient civilizations mentioning these.
Do they ever describe the people?
So not necessarily. There's like drawings, like the Egyptian drawings that they find like in the hieroglyphics. You look at like the skull shapes. They say that they believe those are aliens, the ones that are elongated.
Yeah.
Um, same thing with like Sumerians have done the same thing. Amazon, their hieroglyphs have depicted the same type of skull shape. So a lot of people are thinking that those may be their documentation of aliens. But, you know, Here's the facts of that. The texts exist. So it's actual historical documents that these are depicted on. But here's why they like to say it's not a fact. Um, there's no evidence that these stories describe extraterrestrials rather than just mythological or religious beings. So they're kind of like, it could be one of the three. And, 2 out of 3, it's not going to be, actual aliens. I don't know about you, but I don't like those numbers.
No,
I mean,
that's I need like a 0.25 out of 3
right. Like, that's,
for me to actually feel good. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I think truly there's a lot of theories we could come off of this. Just this initial portion right here. There's the Tartarians that people said, actually worked with aliens and developed this stuff. And there's also, just the world resets people talk about, like, oh, we've advanced and then boom, we're going to reset back to caveman times. But this time frame just seems very short for it to have been any of those. So not too far after these first ones in 74 AD, the Romans um, report seeing like a glowing shield like object crossing the sky. So, you know, this is again documented, but nobody knows what it actually was. There's speculation that it was a meteor or, like some kind of a terrestrial event where like stars or something. But they won't admit that it's an actual spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, they hit it with the UFO, unidentified flying object, you know, but in the newer UFO files that are coming out, they're it's all these military interactions, you know,
Yeah.
catching
Isn't
them
that
on videos, their
crazy?
ships, or they're the fighter pilots, or
Encountering
having
something
encounters.
and
Yeah,
yeah. Dude,
and it's like,
it's crazy all the shit that comes out now.
oh, it's absolutely insane that they're just like, so yeah,
But they won't admit
mhm.
aliens though. Did you catch that? They won't ever admit aliens. They'll always say, UAP, the aerial phenomenon, unidentified aerial phenomenon, where they're
Yeah, they
like
never call
using
them like an actual alien,
yeah,
but they have come out and said that there's different species of aliens.
yeah. But they won't say we've ever been visited, which I'm fine with, but don't ever give me the idea of aliens. Don't let that shit leak. Because if you really think about aliens and realize that there is some other intelligent life form out there that we've somehow gone all of this time without ever encountering, I'm calling bullshit. Because
No way
there's
that
no
we've
way.
made the civilizational advancements that we have without some type of
Right. But if there is, I know what
higher
you're
power,
saying.
and we've
Yeah.
talked about that before. And my thing is with that, like, okay, if they taught us how to fly, did they just give us like the base fucking tools and was
Yeah,
like, all right,
like,
here.
2 plus 2 instead of the whole formula
Yeah, like they're out here with these crazy spacecrafts.
that move omnidirectional, meaning any way that they want without any form of sound or, all these crazy shit. I don't understand it.
No
And I mean,
lag to it or anything like that. It just
yeah,
it cuts on a dime, and it's one of those. It's like we are so far behind you guys. So if you did teach us things, did you just give us the base model of everything and
or are
was
we
like,
just
you guys
some
can,
kind of experiment? Or as you mentioned in Easter episode, just an egg within an egg?
yeah,
I mean, I don't know, dude. Like I said, I love to buy into the alien thing, mainly because it's just a good excuse for everything. But like you were saying, why are we only giving crumbs to each other. If they're able to just come and visit, what are they? And do we ever want to know what it is? Like that's some of the shit that keeps me up at night.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like they say that there's different species, right? So within those different species, all of them fly the same though. They're all omnidirectional.
Yep.
So
But
they all have the same type of. I mean, not every
yeah,
spacecraft look the same,
I was just
but
gonna
they
say
all
because
have the
there's all
same.
the different shapes, and I love that the new, as we mentioned last episode, you brought it up, those new 144p to 4K, you know, adjustments on all these videos that are being found,
Pictures.
dude. It,
I
it
sent you some earlier.
yeah,
I don't know if you
it
looked at
is
them in a text,
crazy,
but
and I don't like to look at them because it's just like, you know, you can stand there and argue either way. Oh, it's an alien spaceship, or it's some kind of a military spacecraft that they're testing. And obviously, they can't disclose that. And whatever fighter pilot is talking about it was unaware as well because it was that confidential. If it's something like that, then cool. Don't explain it to us because obviously it's being used for whatever purpose of military. But if it is extraterrestrials, I feel like the more open we'd be about it, it would rest a lot of people minds.
I think some of the spacecrafts that we've taken
Yeah.
alien technology to get them where they're at, if you ask me, over the years. But I still think it goes back to the whole why are we getting crumbs? Like I was gonna
Right.
say earlier, like every one of these species has a different spacecraft, but they all fly the same. But we don't
Yep.
have any of it.
Well, and mentioning
So if
that,
they're
I
a
mean,
different species between each other, are they all sharing the same
technology with each
technology
other.
there, or is that just like the base for all them
Right.
guys? You know,
And maybe it is like a kind of like see how they learn kind of thing. But you mentioned the aircraft and kind of us knowing what they look like, right? Everybody, if you were to close your eyes and say, picture an alien UFO, everybody's going to draw you the traditional, saucer UFO with a light on the bottom or lights around the ring of it. Um,
there's ones that
but
look like a star.
yeah, and it's crazy. It truly is. Like, again, if we're developing this shit, awesome. I'd love to know what we're going to use it for. Two, why have we not used whatever this is to actually go to the moon again? Because we've been, however long, 60 something years. Um, why have we not gone back? I get that we had the Challenger tragedy in the 2000s, but it's just like, you know, we keep doing these, launches that don't get very far, but now we're going back to the moon. When that is such a controversy on its own.
And for that too, like if these guys are interdimensional beings, like they say,
Uh-huh.
and we traveled thousands of light years to get to your planet, like all the movies say and whatnot.
Right.
If that part's true, why don't we have that technology?
It is crazy.
We have space shuttles that
Can't make it. I
can't
mean,
make it that,
yeah.
it would, they're like, look, you guys would just never make the trip. You'd die before you ever got to that planet,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Hell, we can't
It is
even visit
crazy.
every planet in our solar system.
Yeah. It's astounding. But, we just when I was talking about the history of stuff, I mean, we only made it to 74 AD. Dude, I've got stuff still all the way up to modern day. I've got a good amount left. There's, sightings of a UFO type craft in 776 AD at the siege of Siegburg. It was modern day Germany Witnesses reported seeing glowing objects in the sky. Some described it as flaming shields, bright lights hovering above a church, and all of these again are actually in records that we were able to recover. So now we have, from that span of 3,000 to 1,000 roughly, to 74 to 776 of these stories of these glowing orbs and these glowing shields in the sky. I mean, it's so hard for us to just kind of like throw the idea of UFOs out because I mean, there's so much history on it, dude. It's crazy.
And that's the thing, like, they all are about the same, even today.
Yeah,
The type of spacecraft that we're seeing,
yeah.
or the
And they
orbs,
don't
like
change. It's
it's like,
crazy.
oh, it's a big orange glowing orb,
Ball. Yeah.
ball,
Or
in the
it's a
sky.
silver fucking disc or something along a black obelisk. It's always something of those
Yeah, I mean,
three.
there's even news reports that are like, hey, this is a mother orb, and if you
Yeah.
watch it, there is it disperses other little baby orbs out, and
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck?
But you know what they always say is it's just a celestial phenomenon. So it's not something that's actually happening, but it's refraction of light and all this other bullshit. Or it was a meteorite event or something like that. I don't know about you, but that's all I ever hear. I never hear like, oh yeah, it was a UAP. We don't know.
Yeah, no,
If
it's
you,
always a natural phenomenon,
yeah,
like you said,
it's
just
it's a
like a.
common thing, dude.
Well, it's just crazy nature. That's all.
Yeah. It's every conspiracy I've ever heard has always had that shit explanation. I can guarantee you, if you were to look back at our catalog, we would have at least 5 episodes before this one where it's been some shit explanation like that. I know Dyatlov. I know the Maui. There's like 3 others that we've mentioned, and it's always just some shit explanation like that.
Yeah, when I can't actually come up with an
Yeah.
excuse or
We
an
don't know.
answer for you,
Yeah, I
it's
would
just like,
rather it just be written down as I have no fucking idea.
yeah, at least then I can be like, okay,
All
you just
right.
don't know. You don't
Yeah,
know what you don't know. Okay.
exactly. At that point though, would you even like document the event having happened? Because what if everything is wrong? What if it's just like an off day? Like the archaeologist like went out had like 6 too many beers at the bar the night before, gets up the next morning and he's like, "Fuck, I gotta go in today." Yeah, that's like an asteroid, dude. Yeah, I think it crashed here and then like stopped there and then like a UFO landed there. I don't know, man. It's just like like what there's so many human errors which give us the conspiracies, but they can also shoot down the conspiracies. It's I don't know. Like what if they had like a bad batch of booze one night? Like this one in Germany in 1561, they said that there was a celestial event in Nuremberg. So they explained that there was spheres, cylinders, and cross-shaped objects fighting in the sky. What if they just like, you know what they say about like the original um people who established the US, like the original pilgrims and shit that ate the bad corn, tripped out, thought about like people being witches. Then we find that out as being truth. What if it was just like that shit was going on? They're like, fuck, dude, it was a bad batch of beans that year. They all like tripped balls for 2 days and they reported these things fighting in the sky.
Could you imagine that? Like, I'm gonna go back to my dragons on everything though.
God damn it.
But like the big burning balls of whatever in the sky was just like a really big ass bird with a fucking alien.
That would be nuts. Or what if we were so behind that we didn't participate in some kind of crazy Star Wars that we, just saw it happen, and what's left are people that are like, trying to check up on their people. What if that, dude, that's crazy to even think about. I just thought about that. What if it was just like all these different spaceships fighting above Earth during 1561, and we're just seeing, an actual war go on, and the aliens that remain are just kind of like popping around to see if any of their people are still around.
It's because some of their people probably are still around. They're
I
among
know,
us.
dude. And like the ship
Because,
just can't get high enough, and that's why we keep seeing them.
but like, I gotta know. So, I mean, going back to your timeline, we got all these different sightings of all these UAPs,
Yep.
but they never crashed until Roswell.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, because I mean, I've got more stuff from the 1600s of like glowing orbs and lights following ships at sea, and they give kind of like these half-ass explanations. My favorite is just atmospheric effects, and then back in like the late 1800s, you get this airship wave where you know all across America people report seeing giant airships, which is at the time Zeppelins, but they're not a thing yet. But people are seeing them in the sky.
Yeah,
And
they
then,
described them as like long cigar shaped.
yep, yep, with human
Yeah.
like occupants on it. So that tells me that somebody's walking around, or at least visible, that looks like a human. That's that is
Well, they
crazy, dude.
said
Time
one of the
travel.
four species. You got the grays,
Yep.
which are like your TV aliens.
Yep.
You get
Big black eyes, big bulbous head.
yeah. Then you get the Nordics,
Those ones
and
kind of freak me out.
the Nordics just look like they say like a Swedish person, but they're like 7 foot tall.
Yeah. I don't like to think about that one because I don't think that's true. That'd be crazy.
No, you don't want it to be true because that means that they could be just among us.
True. Which
You
is
know, you
even
look at
even
like
crazier to think
people
about.
like that, the mountain.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, oh fuck, that's an alien.
Yeah. Or like, so that kind of brings us to another one we've got to talk about because we've had one person mention it in a comment, talking about giants. That kind of ties into the other idea. If it's not these, Nordic aliens, what are they? And then people are like, giants. It's always like that constant battle because it's like, what goofy, and I say goofy like I don't kind of half-ass believe it, but what goofy explanation of, oh, it's giants or it's aliens instead of like it was just a really tall dude, like, it just he grew to be tall and we kind of made fun of him.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's definitely just tall people in this world, but there are
Yeah.
some people that are so freaking tall
Oh
that
yeah.
I'm like, this just this is not human.
Yeah, and it's just
Like,
weird.
yeah, it's just weird. You're just like, no, this isn't right. Like,
Yep.
your arms are way too long. Your body's way too
What if
big.
Shaq's an alien?
That'd be wild.
That would be crazy. That's why he's a DJ now. He just keeps
He's the
adapting.
coolest alien
No
that is
shit.
out
If
there.
that's the type of aliens that are out there, fuck it, dude. Come down here. Please. So we jump from the late 1800s all the way up to like you were mentioning earlier, the Roswell incident in 1947. So before Roswell, actually, there was a guy named Kenneth Arnold that was a pilot, and he reported 9 crescent-shaped objects near Mount Rainier. He described this phrase, "flying saucers." Now, this is the first one that we actually have recorded documentation of, other than, historical documents depicting something kind of like that. So the proven fact is that his sighting occurred and was actually reported. Now, again, this is the actual recording is still reported. Here's what they like to say. No one knows what he actually saw.
Which is bullshit. I mean, it's just like Roswell with the crash, though, and then saying, "Oh, we've never
Yeah,
made contact with them." I don't believe it.
no. And like I said, in a couple of episodes we've recorded, like, oh, imagine how the guy who came across this feels now. And, imagine how Kenneth Arnold must feel now if he's still with us, as to being a dude that's like, I fucking saw something and it scared me enough that I reported it back over communication arrays. Um,
And what'd you guys do? You laughed at me.
yeah,
You
yeah.
made fun of me, and now look at me.
Everybody called me crazy, and now I'm literally crazy because of all of you. And not to
Yeah,
mention just that, like, all these people that reported on the Roswell crash, you know, all the eyewitnesses and all that, everybody just, kind of brushed it off, and they're like, what a stupid thing to say. A flying saucer? That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Even if it was something from like Area 51 where we've mentioned, it could be a top secret government, bombing plane under development. Don't let people believe it's a fucking UFO before you're just like, yeah, no, we're trying to develop something and it crashed. I mean, I get keeping it top secret, but, that'd be something at that time of, the world you could easily sweep under the rug.
yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that.
I mean, I don't
Like, I
know.
wanted to try to make a good argument there and be like, no, no, but I
It
agree with you. Like,
yeah,
don't just come out and say UFO because then that's gonna fuck us. Like, it's gonna
yeah,
really get people like, nope, we gotta look
and
into this. Like,
even then, like, don't just come out and be like, it's a UFO, and then just like shut the door and walk away and say nothing else. That'd be like your best friend texting you and being like, dude, I need you to come over because I got to tell you something. You drive 30 minutes to his house. You get there and he goes, yeah, I'm not feeling good, and then he shuts the door and walks away. You're telling me you're not going to be like, what the fuck did you call me over here for? That's the same thing as like them saying, yeah, it's a UFO.
honestly, the fact that they won't just come, I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I want to
Yeah.
know, but I also don't want to because I don't
And
want
that's
them
how
to
I
come out
am.
and go, look, this is what UFOs are. This is what we actually have on them. 110% transparency. We've
Yeah.
made contact. We've talked. We're housing some of them. You know,
Yeah, I
like,
don't know if I'd want to hear any of that. But at the same time, don't just leave me assuming and thinking on my own. Because that's when you get
yeah,
these
like
crazy things like
maybe it is.
Armageddon
Maybe
Day.
it isn't. Like,
Yeah. Like just keep the shit secret, but give me something that's a little bit more believable than, yeah, it might be an alien. I don't know what it is. I don't get it. All through the 50s, there's a bunch of reportings. And then from the 50s to the 1969, there was something reported as Project Blue Book. It was the U.S. Air Force was investigating it, and there was more than 12,000 reports. Most of them were explained, but there were a lot that were just still to this day unidentified. Um, the project did exist, but unidentified does not automatically mean extraterrestrial. So, again, if you would explain what these things most resemble rather than just, we don't know. Sorry. I think a lot of these speculations and conspiracies would stop.
yes and no. I mean, they've I mean, shit, dude. They've released UFO files, and people are still like, "You're still not telling us the whole truth."
Right.
Sorry, you know
Well,
we
but
know better than
that's,
that. Like, I
I mean, if
mean,
I mention UFO to you and I say, "Oh, a UFO was over there," what do you immediately combine with UFOs? Like, in first thing in your head, you're like UFOs.
the Greys, the aliens.
No, I'm saying like abductions, because that's the hand in hand. Aliens and
Oh,
abductions.
yeah, I see
So
what you're saying now with
you're
that.
saying maybe they don't want to disclose this to us. Well, here might be why. Alien abduction stories start in 1961. Now, again, this could be at a point in time in history where it's a little bit quicker on the news and, it's a little bit harder to just hush a newspaper from town. But in 1961, Betty and Barney Hill are the first major abduction story. So they have a claim of missing time and medical examination happening while they were on the spacecraft. Again, I would like to point more holes in this than proofs. Um, One, they could have just overdone drinking that night, overdone a little bit of partying, whatever, gotten the wrong medication, and overslept, and on top of that, had very lucid dreams. That's the one I like to tell myself because it's the most believable, I think. And I don't know. Abductions from aliens are truly scary.
Aliens in themselves are kind of they're. I mean, they're scary because you just don't know anything about them, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, getting abducted, just I mean, if it's like they actually say, you just get fucking beamed up.
yeah.
You
And it
know,
can
that'd be
happen through your
terrifying,
house
dude.
and shit.
Yeah, they just pew, and
Yeah,
you're just
nothing is safe.
gone.
At that point, nothing is safe.
Yeah, that's that
Unless the
part of it.
pyramids.
No, well, that's why they were made so fortified.
Yeah, dog. And had copper on top.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit. But
Does
that's
that
not
mean I need to get
that's
one of
not
those
documented
copper
anywhere.
roofs?
Yeah. You need to rip your shingles off, do it by hand, get a ton of copper and put it on your roof. And don't put any more shingles or anything on top of it. And let me know how you do. I feel like the first lightning storm your house is literally cooked.
Oh, dude, it's just the brightest house on the block.
You have to go up there and polish it weekly.
Yeah,
You know what? I can get behind that. Well, let's go start getting a bunch of copper. We'll redo your roof.
yeah. Go get a bunch of copper. We can't do that, buddy.
Yeah.
We get arrested for that. People call them crackheads. All right.
We're going to steal a bunch of copper and catalytic converters.
Yeah, we're just out here robbing people's fucking window AC units.
What are you guys
Oh,
doing? We're building a roof.
yeah,
As they said in Field of Dreams, if you build it, they will come. Not
who's
the
they? The
aliens.
fucking cops?
Yeah. So, continuing from that first one, in 1966, in the entire town of Melbourne, hundreds of students report a UFO. Large numbers of witnesses reported something unusual. Um, Again, the explanation of why it's not a UFO is because you can't prove it. Like, that's the most bullshit thing. You think it's an alien? Prove it. Oh, you have no proof.
Yeah, it's like, actually,
Yeah. Fucking
actually,
stupid.
I need some proof from you. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, me and seven other fucking people behind me are all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, too
yeah,
bad you don't have any
well,
proof.
yeah, I don't have proof of that. They're like, what do you want me to do? You want me to shoot it out of the sky? Like,
No shit. And that takes me back to like the same thing with Sasquatch. Prove it without giving me a picture that looks like you took it through a bush.
no shit. The other thing is like, you want the proof, but
You don't want the proof.
When Roswell happened, happened, the military scooped up the alien and the
The
spaceship and
wreckage.
everything and was
Yep.
gone. You know, and it's like, okay, even if I were to get you proof by actually
Dude,
maybe shooting one of these things down, the government's gonna fucking get rid of me
okay,
before I
but
can show you
here
anything.
here's my whole thing on the whole the government and the military. Uh I've been in the military and I'm
I know,
telling
and you
you
trust your fucking government like the
telling you
silly
right
little
now,
fellow
if
that you
somebody
are.
if I don't give a shit where you're stationed or who you are, if you come across an alien, you're telling somebody at some point and you're credible. Like, you know how to tell the story in the way that it's believable. There's no way that the military was just like, we're going to scoop up these aliens and not going to say shit about it. But again, if some dude's like, yeah, in the 60s we were developing a strategic bomber and, a couple times it crashed, so we had to go pick it up and, that's all it was. It was pretty chill. Instead of like, we went out and we picked up an alien. Nobody's ever heard we went out and picked up an alien. Somebody in the military would say that, dude. I don't give a hell who you are. Somebody's saying it.
Not at Area 51, sworn secrecy.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I don't believe that one bit. So, following the 60s, 70s, we're not getting as many sightings. But in 1977, the big, crazy thing that happened was what's referred to as the wow signal. It was one of the most intriguing scientific mysteries because Jerry Enman, or Amen, detected a strong radio signal that came from space. He wrote, wow, on the printout. Now, I don't, I, again, if they're really smart, why are they sending us wow? And how the hell are we supposed to, decrypt that? We're just supposed to believe that Jerry Amen is like a linguist and alien shit?
Uh,
Like, that's the thing that's always like, it's just blown my mind. We get this signal from space and we're like, it said wow. It's like, what? That makes less sense than being like, yeah, it said something, but I can't, I don't know what it said. It just sounded like wow. This was just like, nah, it said wow. That's like the dumbest shit I've ever heard is like, aliens have talked to us and they said wow.
yeah, that's all they had to say. And not even like, is it a good wow? A bad wow?
Yeah. Like they just flow by and like it's like when you drive past a house that like you can tell something's going on, like they got trash in it, or it's like not been kept up, or there's cops there, and you drive by and you just go, "Wow, is that what the aliens are doing?" Like they're just flying past Earth and like, "Wow,
Or that house that used to be on University Street that was all the neon colors
yeah, yeah."
in Peoria there. You drive
That's what
past
it
it and
is.
you go,
It's just like,
wow,
wow, yeah.
wow.
That's what the aliens are doing. They're just like, "Wow, all right, cool." You know what? I like that. You know what? Fuck it. Jerry's a genius. They said, wow. They were just flying by and they looked at us and they're like, wow. I'd like
Wow,
to think they all sound
look
like
at these
Owen
little
Wilson.
guys going. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow,
Wow.
wow. You're like, look at these little guys go. We gave them all the basic necessities that they
Yeah.
needed, and they are proving
That
that they
not
are faster and smarter than we thought.
yeah, or they are proving that they should not have gotten our help to begin with.
Yeah, they're up there making little alien side bets and shit. Like, all right, who
Yeah.
had war?
Yeah.
Who had mass war between several countries? I
Wow.
did. Damn, Jerry. All right, Jerry gets the pool for that one.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
I like that. Yeah. So, following the big, awesome wow signal in the 80s,
Wow.
there was a place called Rendlesham Forest. Now, what makes this place significant is there was, again, Noah, your favorite thing to say sees everything and you can't trust them. The U.S. military personnel reported seeing lights, a metallic object with strange markings. Um, would you like to guess if this is actually reported or if it's not?
Not reported, is it?
It is. It's a
Oh,
filed U.S. military report, which
huh.
kind of scares me.
Oh,
Um,
because if somebody in the military were to see something, they'd say something, right?
well, they did. Like I said, this is all public. But here's how
Now it
everything
is.
gets explained. No,
Now it fucking
this
is.
has been for a while because it was just kind of dismissed, right? Because here's why they say it's not a proven fact of what happened. Um, nobody knows what caused it. I am getting more and more pissed off about their explanations than just being told if aliens are real or not. We don't know what happened. Give me a reason that it's not an alien. Give me a solid reason. And they can't. They're just like, well, we don't prove it. We don't. Yeah, prove it.
And it's like, that's all you got, huh? So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's all you got, though? Like, you got nothing to
it's.
prove it, so all
Oh,
we
dude,
got to
it
say is
pisses me
prove it.
off.
So we're just going to go with a natural phenomenon is what we got here, and we're going to move.
Yep.
But UFOs are real. And that's what gets me with the government is they're like, yeah, here's everything that we got on you. And we expect you to believe that this is everything that we've got on them.
Yep.
This is it.
After
And it's
not
like,
disclosing it for years.
yeah, after
It's like,
sitting there and
wait a
disclosing it
minute.
and saying, no, aliens aren't real, no,
Yeah.
UFOs aren't real, you guys are seeing stuff, it's not right, it's just natural phenomenon. Now they're coming out and going, all right, they're real, you guys were right. And it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so are you going to tell me the rest of this shit
No,
now, too?
we just think it's okay to tell you that it's cool, and we know. Like it just like every decade for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years, there's documented incidences. 1994, there was the aerial school. 2004, there was the Nimitz Tic Tac. That one's kind of cool because it's another military one. The 2017, the Pentagon releases UFO videos. 2021, the UAP report comes out. And in 2023, UFO hearings start. It's just like, what?
Which
How
is
do
absolutely crazy. We went from, nope, they're not real, to, hey, we're having hearings on these.
yeah, which is eh, again, if it is something that we don't need to hear, just say that. Just be like, look, dude, it's going to cause too much mass panic. We can't describe it. And then it'd be like, okay, cool. Just like can you give us a rough like end date so I know if I need to go play the lottery every day with all of my earning or like what to do? And it's just like it leaves so many ifs that it doesn't sit right with me. But yet again, all we've disclosed, remember, is the UAP UFO. That doesn't mean that there's aliens as much as I would like to believe because
Okay,
that
then you tell me
hasn't
just
been found.
what, nope, sorry, you tell me then what the hell is just up there flying them things?
Well, again, like I like to say, right? And this is most likely the actual answer, but we'll never know because, again, it's something we can't know for security purposes. I truly think that it is the development of aircraft to either be drones or, whatever it may be. It's just the development and testing of that is going on and people are seeing it. Now, again, if that would just be disclosed, like, oh, we're testing something, we can't disclose what it is, but it is us testing something, not an outside, entity or terrestrial or being or whatever. Just at least give us that. But that's why there's so many UFO shit going on because nobody knows because
Well,
they won't
and
tell us.
yeah, as I said, just like you said, and they won't tell us.
Yeah. Which, again, I can understand both sides. I feel like my favorite thing I always say all the time is our brains see something that we can't explain that could easily be explained, but it's just not something we are able to understand at that time. A lot of these earlier sightings, again, they probably didn't know about meteors or any of this or whatever. Or like another one that you and I had talked about, Noah, where, they talk about in the book of Enoch, like all these fallen angels or, all these different religions that think people that were cast out of the heavens come down. It could be any of these, but that's the problem is there's so many documented interpretations of everything that we'll never know if aliens or UAPs or UFOs are from outer space. It could be something easily
Well, I mean, they've
explained.
said that they've come out of the ocean before too.
Yeah, true. Which again could be
Like the
because we
Navy's
don't.
caught them, doing like flybys basically, but like
Yep.
them coming out of the waters and taking off and everything else.
Which that is the one that I don't understand. But that comes back to the ocean, dude. We know so little about the ocean, allegedly compared to outer space, which I find very hard to believe, but could be. And, that's what keeps me up at night. I don't, I truly, like I say every episode, and I said at the beginning of this one, I love the excuse of aliens because I like that one better than the force of nature or bullshit explanation of like, prove it. We don't know. You can't. You don't know. We don't know.
I mean, yeah, who's to say that Atlantis isn't just aliens living underwater at
Exactly.
this point?
And that's why I say it every episode because, like, yes, I half ass believe, but at the same time, there are all these things. If you were to go ask a group of 100 people in your town today, no matter where you live, if they've ever encountered an alien, I guarantee you at least two people are going to say that they've seen something that made them think aliens.
Oh yeah.
And it's crazy. It just takes us right back to, these medieval explanations for shit, which give you your favorite dragons. It gives you the, like sea serpents and all this other crazy shit. It's just like we created these to explain something that we don't know. And I think that's what aliens are, unfortunately.
To be honest with you, I really hope we never have to actually meet them. But I did see
I
this video that there's a guy that claims to be a time traveler, one of them
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And he was like, in 2026, there's a volcano that erupts in Italy, causes mass destruction, blah, blah, blah. And then we do encounter aliens, and they do come in peace.
yeah.
And I'm like, that's nice to know. That's all I give a shit about.
Yeah, like I said, if Shaq's an alien and that's what we've got that comes in peace, dude, bring him. I'm totally down.
Yeah, I
Give
mean,
us all the music and all of the basketball and comedy that he gives.
and
I'm cool.
dunks.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you heard it here first, if Shaq's an alien, we called it. I don't think he is, but god damn it, that'd be cool if there was a bunch of them in the sky.
That'd be like the movie The Watch.
Yeah. under the
Ben Stiller
under
and
the
all them.
Costco.
Yeah, under the Costco,
Oh
dude. Oh, I'd be
Jesus.
so pissed if there's a bunch of aliens under my Costco.
Yeah. I don't really care. I don't go there much.
I'm a Costco guy.
Sam's Club versus Costco could be a topic for a week.
No.
No. Here's again just to kind of sum everything up, right? Here's all the proven things that we have. This is everything that we have like documented of some kind of way. That the universe contains billions of potentially habitable worlds. Scientists continue searching for extraterrestrial life. Thousands of UFO slash UAPs have been reported existing, not being denied. Military encounters that remain unexplained. Again, nothing crazy. Government investigating UFO reports. kind of crazy. And then, as we said earlier, the wow signal, it's still been unsolved. Again, I think all of these are most likely some top secret shit that was going on at the time that we, normal people are not privy to know. And that's cool, but tell us that. Like, just
Yeah,
be like,
I'd
yeah, we're doing some
like I
type
said,
secret
I'd
shit.
like to believe that, but like, what about crop circles? You know?
Well, crop circles have been proven to have either been wind or like bad crop or like even like animals or something. The exact precision of it, you know, there's other like intentional crop circles and shit like that that have been done. The other ones are just like, something happened in the weather that day that caused it and it just happened to be precise. But I mean, there's a lot of things in nature that are very precise. Like, I mean, it sounds silly, but like, butterfly wings being symmetrical. It
Oh
it
yeah.
it could just be something like that. And we don't have the understanding yet to know like that's a possibility. So I don't know. Crop circles has always been one that I think is kind of, I mean, no pun intended, but corny. I've always thought that was silly. Same thing with like, the abductions. It only happened for like a week and then nobody reported on it again. Like it's just nuts.
I just, I don't know, man. Aliens freak me out
Yeah. And
because
that's
they're so
why
much smarter than us. You know, like it could be
yeah.
like an Independence
But
Day.
they also could just not even be a fucking thing. That's the thing that trips me up about aliens. It could be nothing. It's just some shit we don't understand, or again, that's under development that we don't know, or whatever. But it's just, I don't know, man. It all just seems really like up in the air, just like every conspiracy. But this one is so hard to be like, nah, it's not real, because everywhere you look, they're making movies about it. They're making documentaries. They have all of this, historical documents depicting aliens, shit like that. I don't, I don't see how you can be like, nah, aliens definitely aren't a thing.
I just hate being lied to, and I know that they're lying to us.
Yeah,
They've made
and I'm,
contact with them.
yeah, I'm right there with you. And it's just, I don't know. I don't. The other question it leaves me up to, and this is like going to be one of the last things before I'm done making myself worry tonight. But if aliens truly existed, and statistically speaking, they definitely do somewhere in the universe. Why have we not found definitive proof? Like, not just like, oh yeah, prove it type shit, but I mean like actual cold hard proof. And I know I've sent you some items on talking of stuff that we still to this day don't know how it works. Like there's clocks that were made before people knew how to build shoes.
Yeah.
There's a bell that to this day still rings and is on battery, that is dry battery, that has existed before, people who knew how to talk. It's just like, how are we going to say, oh, nothing's intervened, but we did come up with this? I have such a hard time believing that. And even if it's not aliens, it's one of the other things I want to talk about on this is, you know, that great reset. I've sent you stuff about that, and I know you've sent me stuff about it, but they talk about like, we used to be these high civilizations and then something happened and reset us. Um, I think that would be one that would be kind of cool to talk about. So if you guys want to hear that, let us know.
The Great Reset, I could go on for a while about. I
Well, I
got a
mean,
good
we've gone
thing
on
that
for a
we're
while
gonna.
about these aliens.
Well, I was gonna say, I think that we could end up probably doing a whole nother episode on aliens because I still got more on them,
Oh yeah, dude, and it's
and more
it's
keeps
crazy.
coming out. You know,
Yeah,
But
Well,
it's
that's the
what,
thing.
like,
That's
the
why I
more
wanted
that
to kind
comes
of
out,
exactly. That's why I wanted to do this episode so that we got to like where we're at now.
we're on the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. So if you guys like this, again, let us know because we could do. I mean, aliens. We could go for probably 3 episodes on, and we'll time it out so that anything new that comes out we can include. It's just crazy that after damn near 100 years, just shy of, now we're gonna be like, yeah, it's something's going on.
I don't know if they just thought we weren't ready and now we're ready, or if we were gonna figure it out on our own anyway.
And that's the thing. I don't like to think about it too much. It's kind of scary. There's a lot of stuff. The Pentagon videos alone, when we finish here in the next couple minutes, um, look up the Pentagon videos. I mean that's something that you're gonna be like, why did we document this if they aren't ours?
Mm-hmm.
So don't keep yourself up at night, but just know that something's going on. You already know that, but we think it's
Just
kind of
know
cool to
that
talk
we know
about.
that you know that we know that
Yeah,
we know
yeah,
that
yeah.
you know that
We
they
just
know.
feel it's a cool thing to talk about, and if aliens end up being real, then we'll keep you updated. If it just turns out to be something else, same thing. But it's pretty cool. Look at the sky sometime, and really think about how small we all are, and how big everything in relation is. But yeah,
Just when you
so
think that you're all alone, know
yeah,
that we're not alone.
definitely not alone. So you know, maybe don't think about that too much, and just think about all the fun we had, right?
Because when the aliens come, fun's gone.
Shut up, dude. I'm trying to end up on a lighter note here. You know, uh, aliens aren't confirmed. The spaceship, sure, maybe it's a spaceship, maybe it's not. Could be a satellite, could be something else. But we don't know, you don't know. Nobody knows. And with that, thanks for listening. As always, this has been Blazed and Confused. Peace.